Hey guys, before we get going, quick reminder, there is a limited time offer. I opened up 10 more slots to the Discord server for $10 a month, and it's been flying off the shelf. We only have 2 spots remaining, so if you want to get in there now, now's your chance. First come, first serve, and let's get into the video. I knew today was going to be a crazy day, but I didn't think it was going to be this crazy. I mean, let's get right into it in this video. We're going to do a couple things, talk about the overall market today, and then we are probably going to spend the majority of the video, if not all of the video, talking about AMD, the advanced money destroyer, and what I am going to do to try and salvage my position right now, because AMD has just blown me out of the water this week. I feel like no matter what I do, AMD always moves against me. So I have some ideas on how I can rectify this, how I can salvage my positions to still come out profitable. And then we'll close the video with some technical analysis on AMD and some price predictions. So let's get right into it. Let's look at the heat map here. A lot of green on the board, right? Futures were absolutely out of control this morning. I mean, we still don't have a clear winner from the election, but futures just were straight up mooning. I mean, take a look at big tech. Facebook up 8%, Google 6%, Amazon 6%, Microsoft almost 5%, Apple 4%. Look at the semis. AMD up 6.23%. Any other day, I would be super stoked about this, but as you know, I opened up some covered calls at the 80 strike yesterday, and we are already in the money at 81.35 just because we gapped up on AMD. So the advanced money destroyer is just really hurting me right now. Micron up 1.7. Qualcomm is having a great day, up 2.8%. Had earnings today as well and had a strong earnings showing. Nvidia up almost 6%. So everything is looking good today except for the bank stocks. JP Morgan down 3%. Bank of America down 4%. Wells Fargo down 1%. So banks are not looking too hot right now. Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway also kind of flat, but a little bit in the red here. Mostly every stock is big green today except for a few select sectors. So let's take a look at AMD and let's talk about what happened. So the Robinhood graph right here shows we were already up almost 5% pre-market. Within the first 5 minutes, we got up to over 5%. Just like we always do, after the first 5-minute kind of movement, we sold off for the next about half an hour to a low, if you want to call it a low, to up only 3.4%. And then we just rallied all day long to close, like I said, up 6.2%. We are even rising after hours. As I'm making this video, we're up another 0.5% after hours. So AMD is just crushing it right now. And the better AMD does, the worse my position is right now, the deeper in the money I am. So I'm kind of bummed about that. The 200 IQ play would have been just to not make any plays until today. But like I said, I don't think anyone could have predicted such a day, the day after the election, especially because we don't have a clear winner. I would have thought the market would have tanked on a lot of uncertainty, would have been very volatile. But, you know, it's true what they say. The market can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. Because this market just does not make any sense to me whatsoever. Even at the time I'm making this video, we still don't have a clear-cut winner. And honestly, I don't think we'll have a clear winner until the end of the week. So I think tomorrow will be another interesting day in the market. Will we continue mooning? Will we kind of come back to reality and sell off tomorrow? I don't know, but I'm curious to see what happens tomorrow. It's for reasons like this that I really wish I was all cash right now so I could just sit back and watch the show and just relax and see, you know, indulge in the craziness that is the market right now. But I do have skin in the game, so let's make the best of it. And let's take a look at the options chain. So right now, I have covered calls. I have 2 of them that expire this Friday, so in 2 trading days, at the $80 strike. I sold these babies for $35 a pop. They are currently going for $213. So if I wanted to buy these back, I would basically take a loss of $178 per contract, and I have 2 of these, so I would take an L of a total of $356 if I just wanted to close my position, and hold my shares of AMD. Now, that is a viable option if I think AMD is going to rise, because then I get to hold on to my 200 shares of AMD that I have at 85. However, I'm still in the red until AMD gets above 8250. We are close. If we have another green day tomorrow, AMD could easily get above 8250, but we'll take a look at the technical analysis chart in a minute, and I think we're going to have a little bit of a sell-off, at least on AMD tomorrow, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But what I'm looking to do right now is roll these options out. Now, if you're a fan of Tasty Trade, they suggest letting your losers ride, because you never know when the trade could move into your favor. Because we still have 2 more trading days left. We have Thursday, we have Friday. So if AMD or the market takes a big dump, AMD could easily fall back below 80, and my 80 covered call could go out of the money. So my plan right now is to just see what happens Thursday, maybe go halfway through Friday, see what AMD or the market's looking like. If it looks like we're going to close above 80, then I am going to roll my covered calls out. Now, if I roll, I want to roll not only for a longer expiration, obviously, but I'm going to roll for a higher strike price. I'm going to roll to the 85 strike price, I think. That way, even if AMD moons to $100, at least I will get out at break even, because initially I was assigned my covered calls, or I was assigned my shares of AMD, I should say, at $85 a share. And I would get to keep a little bit of premium that I've collected along the way, but I don't want to keep rolling these covered calls in the money. So let's take a look at what that would look like. So like I said, the magic number as of right now is $213. So I need to make a roll option where I would collect more premium than $213. So let's look at selling calls, and I kind of have it set in my mind that I want a strike of $85. So if I go to next week, November 13th, the 85 covered call would only get me $123. So that's less than 213. So that means I would still end up taking an L. So that means I need to go out another expiration date. So another week out, November 20th, 85 strike, 201. So we're getting closer, but we're still going to be in the red. So let's go out another week, November 27th, and this should do it. So I could sell the 85 strike covered call for $215. So that means that I would have to pay $213 to buy my options back, but then I would collect $250 to open these new options. So that means I would still collect a net credit of $37 per contract times 2 contracts that I want to sell of $74. And at this point, I'm happy with anything in the green, because these options this week have just moved against me, I feel like, every single day. So I just want to get out of this trade right now for any profit at this point. So at the very least, if I want to stick with my $85 covered call, I have to go out to at least November 27th as of the time I'm making this video. Now, I could go to a higher strike. I could go to the 86 strike, and I would still be profitable. I'd only be $5 per contract profitable, because 218 minus 213 is $5. But if AMD just moons to like 100, I would still collect $100 in stock appreciation, because I sold those shares at $86, but I bought them at $85. So that's another strategy I could play, is to try and get for a higher strike. Let's see what happens tomorrow and Friday in AMD, and I'll keep you posted. But really, the price action on AMD is going to determine how far in the future I'm going to sell these new covered calls and for what expiration. But like I said, I want to get at least $85 per contract, or I should say $85 per share right now, because I don't want to deal with this anymore. I'm just a little bit frustrated. I know I'm not thinking straight. Let's see what tomorrow happens. I am basically, if you're a fan of poker, I feel like I'm on tilt right now. And so I think I just need to sleep this off. Just think about it with a cool, level head tomorrow. See what the market is doing, and then make a decision. You know I will keep you posted daily with what my decisions are. If you have any suggestions, please leave a comment below. I'm open to any and all suggestions. What would you do if you were in my situation? So just as a quick recap, I own 200 shares of AMD that I was assigned at $85 a share. 2 weeks ago, I sold covered calls and collected $2.50 per share in premium. So effectively, my cost basis is $82.50 right now. So what would you do if you were in my position? Leave me a comment below. And let's finish the video by looking at the technical analysis on AMD. So here's the TradingView chart on AMD. And we're going to have to make a little addition here because you can see these are all daily candles. Yesterday, we closed at about $76 and some change, about $76.59. This morning, we gapped up and we closed today at a little over $81. Now, the interesting thing is it closed right at the pink line and pretty much right at the orange line. The orange line is the 21-day moving average. The pink line is the 50-day moving average. So I did mention in my video yesterday that I thought that these would be areas of resistance. I just didn't think we would get there in a day. I thought at best we would get there by Friday, but even I didn't think that was likely, and that's why I sold my covered calls all the way down here at $80. I think because of that, I think because there's resistance, I think we'll have a sell-off tomorrow. It's going to take a lot of oomph for AMD to blast above both of these moving averages, in my opinion. But based on what I saw today, anything is possible. The one addition that I have to add to this chart now is this gap. So I need to add some light blue lines here because we have now gapped up. So from here, I'm going to make this light blue to make sure that we see that it's a gap. Now, if you, again, believe in gaps, that tells me that at some point, this gap between roughly $77 and roughly $78 in the high 78s should get filled at some point. So that also makes me feel better that maybe we'll have a little bit of sell-off and come back down to earth right now. Now, we also blew past above this Fibonacci line here, which if I zoom out here is the 78.6% Fibonacci level. So maybe that's going to hold us support. I don't know. That's about $79.50. But I do think that we will have a little bit of a sell-off tomorrow unless the market just goes nuts like it did today and it's just mooning. That is my one little saving grace if that in the next 2 days, AMD kind of sells off to below $80. I don't know if I'm going to risk it and hold that option if it's hovering around $79 or so. I will probably still roll those options out. But if AMD is out of the money, it's going to make it much easier and much more profitable for me to roll those options out than if it's in the money. So basically, I have a kind of a plan A, a plan B, a plan C in mind, but it all depends on how AMD now trades for the next 2 trading days for me to determine which plan I choose to do. Now, AMD mooned not only because the market mooned overall, but because of news that broke. So Goldman Sachs decided that, overnight or pre-market this morning was a great time to upgrade AMD. So they upgraded AMD from neutral to buy, and they lifted the price target from $84 to $96. And I have no idea why. They talked about the Xilinx deal and how they're bullish on AMD, but where were they weeks ago when this was all happening? Why did it take them this long to figure out that, I think AMD is a pretty good company? And the timing couldn't have been worse. I mean, what was Goldman Sachs even thinking? What were they doing? But here's an interesting graph on the Seeking Alpha article where the orange line is AMD, the red line is XLK, which is the tech sector only of the S&P 500, and the blue line represents the S&P 500. And they're showing basically the movement basically from October to early November, which is right now. And you can see the S&P 500 is up 0.6%, the tech sector XLK is down 1.6%, and AMD is actually down 6.4%. So it seems like AMD has gotten a little bit oversold. It looks like it's just gotten beaten down unfairly compared to the other tech stocks and the S&P 500. So maybe that's why they decided that, we think AMD is worth a little bit more than what it's trading for, so we're going to upgrade it. But, Goldman Sachs, the timing was horrible. We had some big catalysts on AMD the past few weeks. This is not new news, but what are you going to do? These are just news catalysts that you just can't predict, you can't control. But again, what are you going to do? That really wraps up this video. As always, if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. If you haven't joined our Discord server already, make sure you hop in there. And as always, happy trading.